Hello again, and good evening to everybody who have you all gathered here in the Palo Alto Club. Welcome to the Cyber Meetup in November. Welcome everyone who is watching us online as well. We are here for about the sixth time here, and I'm really glad that we still have a full house. And I'm just going to kick off with a couple of notes before we go to our presenters. First of all, again, we do this for the community members who feel that they are part of the community. We do this live part in English because there's a couple of people who are watching us online who are probably, speak more cybersecurity issues than Estonian. And then there's a couple of people over here among us as well. So in order to try to be inclusive, we try to do this in English. But afterwards, if we do after the program all the mingling stuff, you can definitely do this in Estonian or whatever language you're speaking. I want to kick off tonight with a couple of words from RIA. We do have an agenda today where we are going to hear from the Estonian Internet Foundation and from our analysis department as well. But just to give you a couple of ideas about some initiatives that we have for the cybersecurity business community, so that if you have questions later on, you can come and ask me about them. What am I trying to say is, within this, the auspices of our RIA organization, we have taken in the last year a little bit more of an initiative in supporting our businesses wherever and however we can. Sometimes it's very low effort items such as a get-together. You know, this maybe supports your businesses, maybe it doesn't, but you know, this is something that we can do. Sometimes we can help each other out by promoting each other's ideas. And so we're trying to make this and do this in a little bit more of a comprehensive way now. This means, that's today's agenda, right? This means that we're going to try to do more and more in the coming years to help the business promotion part of it. So if you feel that your company, your startup, your idea may benefit from this, get in touch, please. So I'm going to give you an example. For example, RIA is right now supporting businesses to do a cybersecurity, cyber transformation, this sort of assessment, and we're providing money and financial incentives for the companies who do it. So, in that sense, we're giving money to some companies so that they could come to you, your cybersecurity services, and buy those services. This is a little bit something that we can do to help this business community. Tomorrow, we are going to be taking a couple of these companies to the RIBAV conference. Tomorrow's is manufacturing and industry conference called Tööstusäri-plaan. We're going to be giving them T-shirts that say that please ask me about the cyber transformation incentive. And we're going to do the same thing next year with the Tark Tööstus, a Smart Industry 2024 event as well. The idea is that RIA is going to be out there with our banners, with our expo position, and we're going to invite more cybersecurity service providers to come and join us so that we could multiply the impact that we have and not just be there when there is a cybersecurity conference, because cybersecurity conferences, I mean, they're nice, but it's not like you're going to get new clients out of the cybersecurity conferences. You need to go where the money is, where the clients are. So, for example, then tomorrow's or the smart industry thing, we are going to be out there promoting cybersecurity, and we're inviting companies to come and join us. If you feel that maybe tomorrow is not a good idea yet, but next year you could come and join us at the smart industry conference, let us know, and we're going to find out how we can work together on this. And in the end, there's profit for everyone, probably. But this is something that we're going to be doing from now on a little bit more. We're going to be reaching out to our cybersecurity business community in a little bit of a wider net, a wider way, so that we could put together people and projects. The Estonian cybersecurity community, you could be good partners, you could be beneficiaries in some projects, you could be partners in some projects. You could coordinate some projects. For example, Digital Europe and Horizon Europe projects, they sometimes need partners from different European member states in order to even be viable. So there's a basic matchmaking need among cybersecurity providers and also universities and some other organizations as well that could benefit from this sort of a matchmaking. And we have our own partners in different member states who are going to be asking businesses to join them in some ways. So let's try to find those partners. So we already know about a couple of events that are going to be happening next year for cybersecurity businesses. And the businesses and some undertakings where this sort of a matchmaking and access to finance, access to markets event could take place. We know about plans to do this in Finland, in Jyväskylä. That's going to be already in the winter time. We know that Sweden and Stockholm are going to be hosting an event next spring where they are inviting Estonian companies to come and join them. And we are going to announce bigger plans for next December, the Cyber Bazaar event, where Estonian, Latvian, Lithuanian cybersecurity companies and organizations can be in a big old expo and sell their products to, all the Finns and the Swedes and, well, anybody who's got money. And so these are going to be some new initiatives that we're going to be reaching out to you about. The initiatives, I'm just going to finish up real quick. These initiatives, and we're going to be distributing some information about these initiatives on the same mailing list that we considered that you can sign up for when you sign in here. When you signed up that you arrived here, there was a small place that said, want more information. And if you did put your email there, or if you already have an email that you in previous times have actually given us in this sign-up sheet, then we're going to be distributing these emails, this information about these initiatives through that email list. So I'm saying this out here for two reasons. One, if you hear that there's going to be more stuff in that email list and you want to unsubscribe, then next time just, when you get something, just unsubscribe. We're not mad. I mean, we're disappointed, but we're not mad. It's fine. And the other thing, if you decided not to give us your email address because, all you get is some event information that you can already get through Facebook, then maybe reconsider that maybe there is some more information that you could get out of this emailing list. We're going to build like an actual list. So So this is something that I'm asking you to consider to do. Plus, of course, if you do join us in some of these, like promotional events where we go to like conferences, then you may actually get a T-shirt out of it, and this is also, like really cool, right? Right. So this is my real quick overview of what are some of the ideas. Come and talk to me after this official part here is over. If you want to ask for more, if you ask more questions about what can you do to have your ideas out there and to join us in some of these business trips. But I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to go to our first speaker. Our first speaker is going to be from the Estonian Internet Foundation. Mr. Timo Võhmar is going to talk to us about EEID and what are the plans out there. So go right ahead. There's a microphone right there that you can use. And your slides are up there.
Thank you.
Give it up.
Works. Hello, I'm Timo Võhmar from Estonian Internet Foundation. And I came here to talk about what we are up to and what we have been doing with electronic identities. But since this is my first time here, I thought I can't escape just introducing who we are and what we do in general. So, I said Estonian Internet Foundation. We are a not-for-profit foundation founded by Estonian government and ITL, Association of Information Technology and Telecommunication, if I'm not mistaken, in 2010 already. And our main task is managing Estonian country code top-level domain registry.ee, plus DNS that serves it. And of course, as we have this ambitious name, we also kind of represent Estonian internet users in international organizations like ICANN, Center, DNS-Org, and so on. We took over .ee from ENET, so .ee itself is of course older than we are. We made it more available and made it a paid service that was very popular at the time. Very exciting times these were. And basically, yeah, we made .ee very available, but we introduced local presence requirements. So every .ee registrar had to be somehow associated to Estonia. But in 2015, we thought that, okay, let's join the liberal movement of rest of the world and drop that one. We have done pretty good. I guess we have been one of the quickest growing TLDs for years in Europe. And I guess most importantly, we are bigger than Latvia. So what EID is, I guess, the cornerstone of what we are doing. Electronic and strong identification has been there since the beginning. So I guess up until 2015, we were perfect. We knew pretty much everyone behind each and every registration. But with liberal movements come some cons. So we opened up to the world. But before I move on, just a few words just how we operate. We operate with registry, registrar, RRR model, registry, registrar, registrant, meaning that we actually don't communicate with end user directly. There is a layer of partners between us and the client. This comes with few pros and cons, of course. Pros being that we don't have to have big client support team. Cons being that we don't know actually what the clients want. But we try to imagine what they want. But identity-wise, registrar is actually the one that identifies and verifies the end user. And we just validate the data that we receive from the registrar. And as I said, EID is our kind of enabler or cornerstone. And basically the reason why we are still pretty much close to being the only ones in the world, at least in the domain world, that cares of who is behind the registrations and actually verifies and validates the data. But yeah, as said, in 2015, we went liberal. We made ourselves open to the world. We welcomed nice people from China, US, and all these other places in the world. But we ended up in a situation where we weren't sure. We weren't sure who these people are. So we need some kind of solution to identify them. We came up with few options. First one, or primary one, being the bank transfers. So if the payment for the registration came from the same name as was on the registration application, we considered it as a verified because we trusted KYCs of what banks are doing. But the bank transfer, international bank transfers, can be very expensive if you're not from Europe. So we needed some alternative. And we came up with PayPal Verified. That kind of seemed pretty good at the time. But our happiness didn't last long, because soon after implementing it, PayPal stopped verifying the users as they used to. Their process used to be pretty similar to what banks were doing, but I guess the business side of it won, and after that, PayPal Verified just meant that there has been some business activity behind the account. Some payments have been made, some bank account or credit card is associated with the account, so nothing about the identities of the account holders were there after that. So we ended up with a bit flawed system, unfortunately, unintentionally. So why? Because we needed to know, or wanted to know, who is the registrant behind the registrations that are outside of Estonia, because otherwise we were just kind of making lives miserable of all Estonians, and for foreigners it was like a party, free for all. But there are also two sides of the problem. There are our registrars or partners that also have to have some means of identifying the registrants, and of course we ourselves need to somehow provide this means of identifying the registrants. And soon NIS2 appeared. NIS2 is the new upcoming EU cybersecurity directive that's supposed to come in force in October 2024, next year. After that, hopefully there's a transition time as well for 12 to 24 months, I guess. But this brings few important changes that affect us directly. We are considered as critical infrastructure service provider after that, and our registrars, partners, and DNS providers are essential. But more importantly, the validation and verification of registrants becomes mandatory. So yeah, we have to somehow solve this now. and make sure how to keep the data correct even after the registration is done. So how? This has been a problem that we have been looking for the answer for many years. NIS2 was the push from outside, and this actually made us interesting to other registries, registrars around the world as well. They started to take interest into what we are doing and how we are doing. So far, we were like the strange one in a bunch, just strangely somehow interested in the people and their identities. But now it's kind of interesting for everyone. But yeah, before attending any kind of data quality or identification, this kind of exercise, first step is to clear out unnecessary data. So we did that. We threw out everything that we felt that is unnecessary. Postal addresses, fax numbers, all this legacy stuff. So right now we only collect names, identity codes, email addresses, phone numbers, that's it. So very short and sweet list of data. And then we found Tara. I hope most of you at least know what it is. It's RIA's service that for public sector companies that brings together all these eID options, Smart ID, Mobile ID, one simple interface, and you get it all. So, and this kind of seemed like an answer to our call, because it also included eIDAS. eIDAS is European network of e-identity providers. So most European countries should be part of it, and their government-provided eIDs should become available for anyone connected to the eIDAS network. So Tara made available eIDs of 20+ countries in one go, and that seemed very sweet. We integrated it in our own interfaces and thought, okay, but this can be a solution for our registrars as well. Why not? So we forked Tara because it's open source. We added a management interface for end users. Billing, we are not for profit, but we still need to bring the ends together. And then we found out that eIDAS doesn't work for private sector in reality. So the 26 countries that were available, or options that were available over the eIDAS, shrunk down to 6 that were available for private sector, and now it's 4 of them left, so its list gets shorter and shorter by the time. So eIDAS really doesn't work. But if in American way of thinking, you at that point pivot and start doing crypto mining or something, we pushed on as true Estonians and started directly integrating with different government provided eID options, building our own version, better version of eIDAS. And yes, we currently have already integrated Latvia, Lithuania, Czech Republic. We are working on Finland, Belgium. There are bank IDs in the backlog. We should attend to Germany as well as our biggest European foreign market, but Germans are a bit crazy. So that's a very difficult task. But and yeah, marketing-wise, we do it also the Estonian way. We are aggressively waiting while we are found, and people approach us and want our solutions. But yeah, in short, eID is Tara for private sector. So exciting stuff. End of 2022. I guess it was Toti birthday party or something. And Martin Paljak approached me and asked, dude, you have heard Fido, right? I said, yeah. No, I hadn't actually. But then, of course, next question was, have you considered implementing it? Because it kind of seems to be perfect for your EID. And then I said, stop. You have heard of EID, so the passive waiting works. Someone outside knows. But yeah, Fido, if someone is in the same place where I was when Martin approached me, is an alliance with a goal to get rid of passwords, basically. Replace it with more user-friendly, secure options of authentication. So passkeys is, I guess, the most famous product. It enables biometrics, hardware dongles, all that stuff. So basically, in theory, you could even make a smart ID, a mobile ID more convenient with your facial identification or fingerprints of your mobile phone. So all looked really promising. And in spring, I asked Martin if he would be willing to help us do this thing. And he was. So we did it. And it was good. But while doing this, our appetite grew. And up until this point with the EID, we were just simple mediators. We were just identifying the end user and then saying to EID clients who the people were. But we thought, why not become an identity provider? Because this would kind of solve the issue for the world. Help us identify people in China, people in US, people in Europe, actually, who don't have access to proper electronic identification. And we shook hands with Verif to do the video verification and start issuing Fido IDs to people and make this, try to basically solve this problem. In the domain world, this means something similar to what Denmark, for example, is doing. So the end user actually comes to the registry for identification and then goes to the registrar for verification and actual registration. And we are kind of ready with this. We are in the process of Fido certification at the moment. And hopefully this will work because, we continue waiting for people to find us. And I guess that's it. Any questions?
All right, thank you very much. Let's give it up. Yay! I'm gonna ask the first question. What's the sell? What are you selling to maybe this bunch of people? What do you want them to? What's the call to action here for this bunch?
Well, if you are not a public sector and you need, for some reason, to identify your users, then I guess EID would be a very good solution for you. With one go, get access to a multitude of different electronic identification options. It's even cheaper than going directly to SK. So there are a few good traits to this service, I guess.
All right, so you're competing with the SK.
Not really.
All right, so there was a question over here. Go ahead. Identify yourself, please.
Yeah, hey, I'm Joel. We've emailed once. But I have a kind of mean question, like, why doesn't the Estonian Internet Foundation use EID itself, like, for its public services? Like, if I log in right now on internet.ee, it doesn't use your service.
That's a good question. We are kind of, let's say, well, to be honest, it's cheaper. Because we are using Tara, but if we would set up or use our own EID, we would have to kind of pay to SK for each and every authentication. But don't tell it to anyone.
All right, any more questions? Right here.
So if I can, sorry, Juhani. So if I can fool, for example, Veriff, you said Veriff takes your identity. If I can fool them, can I take over, for example, swedbank.ee domain?
No, you can't in principle.
Why? Can I authenticate as somebody from Swedbank using that if I can fool Veriff?
Okay, well, yeah, if you're able to fake your identity as a board member of Swedbank, then in theory, yes, you could make changes to the Swedbank.e registration via registrars that enable full electronic service.
Thank you.
All right, there's one more question.
Hello, I'm Gaur from Bondora. I do very much hope that you have your risk analysis done so that you know the implications of this service to the world. But my actual question is, like, are all European TLDs and TLD holders or keepers in the same position? Are they all struggling with the same solutions, same requirements, same problems, or are you somehow specific in this? Like, effectively asking, is there cooperation between European TLD managers?
Yes, cooperation is there because of NIS2, I guess, most of all. There are a couple other TLDs that are affected by local laws, like Denmark, where local law is in place and requires identification already. But for most, this is a worry for the future. So at the moment, a lot of is being done to learn from each other, to cooperate, and to make sure that at least the approach would be more or less similar, because otherwise this will make a hell for our partners registrars that then will have to kind of work with each and every individual and unique approach to the same problem.
All right, thank you very much. Let's keep the rest of the questions for later. Give one more hand to Timo. Thank you. It just goes to show that NIS2 and the transition to NIS2, which happens, I understand everybody knows this date by heart, right? October 18th, 2024? Oh, okay, no, I'm just kidding. We know this by heart because it has to be October 18th. So there's a lot of things that we have to do in Estonia. There's a lot of things that the Estonian Internet Foundation has to do, and there's a lot of things that are going to be changing. All right, thank you very much, and we are going to continue with our night. But before we continue, I want to say thank you to everybody who was watching us online. The next part of this is not going to be online. We're going to be finishing up this with this online stream because, you know, some things should be left to the people who are in the room. And if you want to come, you can. If you're watching us online and you really want to come, there's still room here. And so if you run, then you may catch the very end of the next presentation. But to everybody who has been watching us online, thank you for joining us, and have a good night. Are we good?